Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's video and welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Kira and I'm sick. That's why I sound weird. If you can't take it, I completely understand. I post a video every single day of the week, so I'll just see you guys in the next one if you can't take my sick voice. So today we're going to be doing a makeup and mystery, and I was really intrigued by this after I did my Natalie Wood case, which was the last case that I did. So that's why I wanted to look into this one, and that is the death of Brittany Murphy, because she is also a celebrity, and hers is a little odd as well. You see, like Natalie Wood's, they call say Brittany's was an accident, but of course they reopened Natalie Wood's case. They didn't and said that it was suspicious, but they haven't with Brittany. So Brittany Murphy was an actress, and she starred in a lot of like really popular movies. But the thing that I found when I was researching this case is that it's pretty common for people when they talk about her to say that even though she starred in these big movies, she was never the breakout star. It was always her co-star. And it said that this really bothered Brittany because she used to have like brown hair, and they said that she was a little chubby. And after it happened to like 2 or 3 movies where she wasn't the breakout star, it was her co-star, she changed her look. She became like really skinny, and she had platinum blonde hair, which is I think what most people associate the look for Brittany Murphy is with the blonde hair and not the brown hair, but she did have brown hair first. And she changed her look because I believe it was just because of wanting to be famous and always being like maybe a little bit jealous that, you know, her co-stars were getting the fame in these movies and she was working hard and she didn't really get anything. And that, I mean, could definitely bother somebody and could definitely kind of like not stroke your ego whatsoever.
Quit.
So later on in Brittany's life, she ended up marrying a man named Simon Monjack, who was like a producer. He was like British. He was like a producer and a makeup artist and stuff like that. And it is said that there's like conspiracy theories against it. Like, it's very well said that people think that he had actually like manipulated Brittany into marrying him because he needed a visa. And to get a visa, you can marry an American citizen and you automatically will get a visa. Typically. You know, if they can prove that that's the only reason you're getting married, then it doesn't work like that. Like, if they can prove that that's the only reason that you're getting married, you won't get the visa, and you get in trouble. So, people speculate that that is what happened. It's also said that when they got married, Simon Monjack like really took over Brittany's career. Like, I've had a lot of people pretty much say that it was like kind of like a toxic relationship. But he basically, like I said, he basically took over her career. Brittany Murphy had bought like a mansion that was supposedly like built by Madonna, and like bought it from Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake. Which, I mean, good for her. Big celebrity mansion, I mean, good for her. That's what she wanted. Then, I mean, it's like good for her. And it was in this mansion that Brittany, her mother Sharon, and her husband Simon lived in. Pretty close to the end of her death, Brittany, Simon, and Sharon went to, I think it was Cuba, where Brittany was starring in like a low-budget movie. And a lot of people who talk about this case kind of use that as reference to like Simon when he took over her career. But a lot of people use that as a citing to say, like, okay, so this is, like, proof that when Simon and her got together and he started to manage her career, it was, like, the downfall of her career. Because she used to be, like, doing very high budget movies. Even though she wasn't the breakout star, she was still doing like high budget movies that were doing really good. Whereas if you find Sharon talking about this particular movie that I'm talking about, she actually said that there was like no air conditioning and stuff like that. So it was like a shitty movie that she was in. So when Brittany died, it was really sudden, honestly. It happened in 2009, which a lot of people died in 2009. At least for celebrities, because I mean, 2009 is when Michael Jackson died. 2009 is a lot of celebrities died. So, Brittany Murphy did pass away in 2009, and the way they found her unconscious on the bathroom floor. Her mother did, I believe, because her mother was the one who did the 911 call. You can look it up. It's pretty sad. Like, you can tell, like, her mother's, like, terrified. So it's, like, it's pretty sad. Which, I mean, I don't know what mother wouldn't be terrified for their child if they just found their child unconscious on the floor. And basically, they come and they try to resuscitate Brittany, but they're unable to, and Brittany is pronounced dead. And it is ruled just like a death of natural causes. And Brittany was only 30, and a few weeks before her death, she actually did an interview where they asked her, like, where do you want to be this time next year, or something like that, or like, where do you see yourself in a year? And Brittany had actually said, I want to have a baby. So I do technically quote that, like, she definitely wasn't planning to end her life or anything like that, because she said she wanted to have a baby. So the police actually end up searching the house, and they found like boatloads of like prescription drugs, and a lot of people were very critical of Simon on this because she apparently like had pneumonia, and they were trying to treat it with like the prescription drugs. And Brittany was so sick that she actually had plans to see a doctor, but unfortunately she passed away before she got the opportunity to go and see a doctor. But when it came out that they had found all these prescription drugs in Simon and Brittany's house, instead of thinking, okay, so she was just trying to self-medicate a disease because she didn't want to go to the doctor, because maybe she just had a fear of doctors, or who knows. People instantly assumed that Simon and Brittany were like, look out the curtain, buddy. So it is actually assumed that Simon and Brittany were what is called doctor hoppers, which I didn't even know that this was a real term. But they're called doctor hoppers or doctor shoppers or whatever, and they apparently like shop around and they call a bunch of different doctors and have a bunch of different identities, so they can get like a bunch of different doctors to prescribe them pills because they're addicted to pain pills, and they were accused of that. They were also saying that Brittany had a drug problem and that she was bulimic. And I just, like, can't imagine talking bad about somebody after they die just because they had medicine in their house. I mean, if you guys could see how much medicine I carry, like, I still have medicine from when I was pregnant that I take to this day if I have problems eating, because it helps me eat and keep food down. So, I mean, like, I just think that that was something really, really stupid, but also, I'm talking, we're in 2022, and they were in 2009. So, there's that. There is also the issue of Brittany's father had actually came out at this time, and Brittany's mother and her father actually were not together, so like people didn't really know her father. But according to Brittany's mother, Sharon Murphy, her father came out of the woodwork when she got famous, which I think actually a lot of men do that. I didn't actually realize how common it is for men to just go and have kids and then just not take care of them. But that's kind of like what this seemed like it was. And then, like, when he realized his daughter was famous, he kind of wanted to cut of the action. So he kind of becomes involved in this whole situation. And he becomes a big name in this story. So remember Brittany's father. Now, the next thing that happened was 5 months later. Simon Monjack, who was Brittany's husband, died in the exact same manner as Brittany, in the exact same room. So, when it happens once, I think people were kind of like, okay, weird. But with it happening twice, I think is when people got suspicious and were kind of like, okay. I mean, Simon and Brittany's mother actually had to go and do interviews after Brittany passed away about her life and pretty much claimed that she wasn't on drugs. They weren't on drugs. Which is really sad that people will talk crap. It's really sad that people will talk shit about the dead like that. But they did go and do interviews stating that Brittany was not anorexic and she was not on drugs. But it did end up looking suspicious when Simon ended up dying in the exact same way, I think. So people obviously found it suspicious when her husband died in the same manner, in the same way, in the exact same room. And that is where this conspiracy theory comes in about Julia Adams, I believe is her name. No, Davis. Julia Davis. Julia Adams is an actress. And Julia Davis is an actual whistleblower who won a case against Homeland Security. Like, she was an actual whistleblower. And she came out saying that Brittany Murphy and her were friends, which I actually found a thing where Sharon, Brittany's mom, said that that's not true. I'm more inclined to believe Brittany's mother since, remember, they were so close, but there's also been reports stating that Brittany's mom is just saying that because she knows that it's true and doesn't want the same thing to happen to her. But, I mean, I don't think that she cares. I don't think the woman cares, honestly, at this point anymore. I mean, her daughter and son-in-law are dead. But anyways, so she comes out and says that she thinks that Brittany Murphy and Simon Monjack were on the Homeland Security list and they were killed. Because she claims that Brittany Murphy told her that she was being followed and she was being watched by Homeland Security, Homeland Security. And Brittany's father actually backs this up. Brittany's father actually paid for an independent lab in Colorado to test Brittany's hair, and it came back with high levels of, I think it was heavy metals, like 10 different metals, if I remember correctly. But also, this can be easily explained away with the simple fact of Brittany did dye her hair, and it could have contained, like, her hair can contain metals because she dyed her hair and she used, like, hairspray and stuff like that, because it's contained in hairspray and hair dye, and Brittany did use these products. If Simon Monjack was tested and had the exact same results as Brittany, then I would be more inclined to believe this theory. However, Brittany's mother has came out publicly and stated that she does not believe Brittany's father at all. She thinks that he is just in it for the money. And there is some evidence to back this up, that Brittany's father and Miss Julia Davis made this whole situation up so that they could sell a book and a movie and products with it. And Julia Davis did sell a movie. Like, they did make a movie on this. So, that is true. I mean, we don't know if this was made up just to do that, but it looks suspicious. I don't like anybody that cashes in on their child when their child is rich and basically he's using his daughter's name, and it bothers me quite a bit, and I'm sure it bothers a lot of other people too. It's just he's using his daughter's name, his dead daughter's name, to get rich, and he had nothing to do with her when she was alive. So it just bothers me quite a bit. So if you're wondering what Sharon Murphy has to say about this whole situation, she just thinks that it is a tragic accident, a tragic loss, because the actual death report says that they died of, like, pneumonia, which is possible. I mean, they didn't treat it, so that is possible. But that's the actual death report, is that they did die of just natural causes. A lot of people, when it first happened, thought that maybe there was toxic mold in the house, and Sharon Murphy actually did entertain this thought because she actually had the house tested, and this was before Simon passed away, and it did come back negative. So the toxic mold theory honestly made so much sense, but there was just no proof behind it. I have 2 more orders to do for my May Mother's Day haul. I'm so excited. Actually, I have 3 because I'm doing an impromptu ColourPop haul. But aside from that, this is a very serious story. Let's not talk about makeup. I'll talk about makeup in the other video I'm going to film today, which may or may not be up before this one. I haven't decided if I'm even going to post this new series I'm making. So, like I said, the toxic mold theory honestly made a lot of sense, but it was proven to not be true. And honestly, Sharon Murphy thinks that this is just a tragic accident. And I'm more inclined to believe her because it seems like the evidence actually points more towards it being just them being sick and maybe being stubborn and not wanting to go to the doctor, to be completely honest. Which, I mean, fair. People do that all the time. So, in turn, I don't really know what to think. Honestly, I kind of think I'm kind of on the same side as Sharon Murphy. I think that this was just a accident, a natural natural causes for both of them. Even though it is a little suspicious, it is possible. I mean, I know a girl who had pneumonia when I was in 6th grade, and she almost died, and I remember talking to her about it. And this was like a year after Brittany Murphy's death. So I do think that this was just like a natural cause, and it was an accident, honestly. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you believe the Homeland Security thing? Do you think that her father, which I do believe her father, did cash in on her death just to get rich? I think that his story is made up. Which, I think that the evidence honestly mostly points to the fact that he did make this up, his whole story up just to sell stuff and make money off of it. And he used somebody that actually had a good story behind her, because Julia Davis actually did sue Homeland Security, and she did win. So there is evidence behind that. But anyways, please let me know what you guys think down below. Of course, I always want to hear you guys' opinion, and I'm going to end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.